Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At-Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay-at-home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight, got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet, cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Home Dad Chat, where Danny and I are just definitely feeling the countdown to HomeDadCon, along with all of the other weight of the world and our families, just keeping us real. And so probably going to get a little real with you tonight, and then talk a little bit about some of the speakers and who we're looking forward to hearing from at HomeDadCon.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's it's been a very somber start to the evening, but we're gonna do our best, guys. So hopefully you enjoy this show. If you're watching on YouTube, honestly, and if you're not, you're definitely gonna have to go on just to check it out, because Danny and I, without knowing it, we've gotten to know each other so well that we are matching tonight with our white shirts, our short hair, glasses, and just a bit of that beard action going on. So yeah, well done.
Just so everybody knows, I'm going as Brock for Halloween. So this is my first attempt. You know what's really funny, Brock, too, is literally, okay, so I came in here and I've been wearing this. This is like a little like dry wicking undershirt, whatever.
Is it from Costco?
No.
Okay. I was like, I've got the same kind of thing.
Yeah. And so I was wearing my a Gas Monkey Garage shirt, right?
Oh,
first.
yeah.
You can't see it, but me. But I've been wearing that all day. And so I had this on underneath it just because I got up this morning and I'm like, I want to wear this little layer, but I thought, well, I'm going to put on the other one just to see whatever. And literally coming to sit down and take off the black one because it's gotten warmer and, okay, I only need this little one. And so it wasn't planned, but it was definitely hilarious. It's like, oh, we're twins.
I know. We got it going all the way. Even, we got the white earbuds in and everything.
That's
so.
right. That's right.
Oh, shoot.
Dress as your co-host day.
You nailed it. Way to go.
Dad Chat.
Way to go, for sure. All right, we're going to pause for one moment here as I have a child running into the room again.
All right.
Nothing like having a run-in with a kid, and their question is, can I have a pickle?
Yeah.
That kid is definitely from my loins.
And when you're at that point, too, it's like, it's bedtime. I don't care. You got anything but like sugar and caffeine, just eat it and go to sleep. I'm done.
Pretty much. Yep. Pretty much. That's where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all good. But yeah, man, I mean, it's been an interesting week this last week. And, we're coming up on the final days of getting to come to HomeDadCon.
Oh yeah.
We're in that home stretch. So there's a lot going on, lots of loose ends being dealt with and all kinds of stuff, along with just family. And I think that a lot of guys, you've got guys who see some of us going to HomeDadCon and wondering, how do they even get the ability to do this? Like, how does that work? Because it is a balancing act. There is definitely that. But then on the other side of it, for the guys who have chosen to come, it's a whole nother like senioritis / just preparation for being gone for a time. I know I've heard guys say stuff like, I make these lists for my wife and, write all this stuff out for her so that they know what's going on. And, all of these different grand plans for how things are going to go. And I don't know, what's that like for you? Like, you've been going for a while. Is that something you do with Marnie?
Well, first off, it's a partnership. It's 100%.
I agree.
You cannot do this unless your partner's with you, and you both have to be convinced of how great this is. And fortunately for me, the first one I went to, Marnie went with me. And I've told the story before, but she stayed in the hotel and I went to the convention and had a great time and got to extrovert my brains out. And she stayed in the room and like just listened to audiobooks and knitted. Or knit. I'm sorry, I don't know what the past tense of that is, but it was knitting all day. And then we'd get together like at the end of the day and I'd see, can I bring you some food or do you want to go out to dinner? And for 2 of the nights, it was, no, you just bring me some food and I'm going to eat here. And then you go out and hang out with your friends. And it's fine. So she, from that first one, was kind of a part of it and immediately saw a difference in me.
Where
I
was
mean,
your kids at during that time?
her mother came down from Minnesota and watched them. And I only had two at the time. Wait, I have two? Pretty sure I only had two at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. May have had three. Time, man.
So what was her reasoning for coming with you to that first one?
We didn't know anything about it. And
Okay.
we'd just heard about it really within maybe a couple of months at most before we went. And she told me, you need to go to this. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll go to this. This looks like fun. It looks like you meet some guys and figure out what I'm supposed to do. How do I do this? But her thought and my thought too was that she hasn't had a break either. And, we've had however many years, like, I don't know, 8-10 years that we've been, married and what have you and together. And we took a honeymoon, but we really didn't take any time after that.
Yeah.
And so she was like, well, would you mind if it was me at first, only me. And then as we talked about it more and more, and as it went along, she said, would you mind if I went with you and just stayed in the hotel? And I think that was a great idea. I think it was just the best thing that she could do for herself at that point, because she got to spend all day just chilling out.
Yeah.
Not, and at the time she was a police officer. She was in the special victims unit, and she absolutely needed some self-care.
Dang.
So,
yeah, that would say so. Yeah. If you're in that place,
she's pulling she's a trooper. She's a better person than I am by far. And cool. I don't think I'm a bad person. I just think she's really good.
Yeah.
But
I hear guys talk about, my wife wants to come, or the wife and the kids want to come. And I don't think that it's like a bad idea, but you have to have a very serious plan in place, and it needs to be solid and unchangeable, to where, yes, if your spouse and the kids are coming along and they're hanging out at the hotel, like, that you can still come and go as you please, and not like put any bumps in the road for that experience to continue on. Because I feel like there's going to be a bad taste left in the mouth, just the bad, just experience, if you're having to still be on duty or be on call.
Yeah.
That's going to stress you out. I've seen guys do that.
Mm-hmm. It's like when everybody talks about how, it's, great summer vacation, family vacation, or whatever. For the stay-at-home parent, that's just doing the same crap somewhere else plus sand. I mean, it's just more difficult, actually. And I see few times where at-home parents have gone on vacation, and the at-home parent is like, yeah, it was amazing. I got to relax. I just did exactly what I do every single day, but at a hotel, or, whatever. And that changes things. I mean, okay, so I didn't have to cook as much. I didn't have to cook at all. I didn't have to clean up. Those are great things, but you're still the eagle eyes on the kid.
Oh yeah.
You're still getting up at night. You're still, and this happens a lot on vacation. What if somebody gets sick?
Oh yeah.
What if they eat too much cotton candy and they're throwing up? Who's dealing with that? Yeah. And it's you. So yeah, I would caution anybody that to not, go ahead and try it. If it works for your family. I've seen other families that do it, and they did great as far as I could tell. I loved seeing, especially I've seen a couple of babies at HomeDadCon, and I was like, yo, hold your baby for 19 years. Let me hold it, but still the enjoyment was there because they could get away.
Yeah.
They still had that time. I'm going to go to this thing. I'll be gone for 8 hours, which is still a huge improvement for most of us.
Sure. Oh yeah, definitely.
Unless we're sleeping, and even then it's not guaranteed, but
right.
Yeah.
Well, and to like, if you're going to do, like, your family's coming along with you, like, find out if there's other families that are thinking about it, so that maybe like the spouses and the kids can go hang out and do something. I know for like Orlando, there were families that did that.
That's a great example.
And I, for that kind of stuff, the different cities like that. I mean, Cincinnati, for anybody that was going to do that, like, and I don't think that there are this year, but I mean, there's always like, you had like get the zoo and the aquarium and stuff here. So like, there was definitely, like, I was keeping an eye out for it, because I was like, all right, if anybody is going to basically bring their family, like, this is a very family friendly city, and there's plenty to do, honestly.
There's a lot to do.
Yeah. And so I was just waiting, and it doesn't seem like anybody is, which is totally fine. So, but even if like a spouse came along, there's still tons to do and see and that kind of thing. And just to feel, I guess, how comfortable they are going and doing things on their own. Like you were saying, like Marnie hung out in the hotel. That would probably be very similar to what my wife would do
right
in that situation.
And imagine being an introvert and having the opportunity to just sit in a hotel room quietly by yourself all day long. It's like, yes, this is the perfect vacation. I'll be out here doing my thing. You be here doing yours, you know?
Yeah, that would definitely be my wife. She's an introvert, and that would probably be like, oh, I can read a book and knit and binge watch a show or something. I'm in.
Yeah. When do we leave?
Yeah. But I mean, so for the guys that are like, you know, are getting ready to plan, honestly, like I would say that one piece of advice I would give any of the new guys who, you know, are getting ready to come in, definitely try to set your spouse up for success. So if they don't know certain routines, if they don't know where certain things are in the house, because that's been a thing too, make sure that you take this time now, like prepping by writing stuff down. And it could be as simple as like, I understand that you might think you know where everything is or whatever, but like, let me just give you this list of what I've been doing with the kids, so that, and you can modify it however you want while I'm gone, but at least you have this. Because I remember specifically one of the guys stating that he got a text from his wife asking where the toilet paper was in the house one year.
Whoops.
And I'm like, that's a pretty important piece of information.
Yeah, you should know that one. That's
yeah. So just stuff like that.
Set them up to succeed.
Yeah.
You know, give them, because this is your spouse and you love them, or you love them at some point, you know, even if you're so frustrated, I just want to, but really, you do love them and you want them to succeed. You want them, honestly, I go away, half of the time I'm hoping that Marnie fails completely and it's awful. And she just, oh my God, I can't believe how you do this every day. Cause it would be an amount of vindication, you know, cause I'm just like, I try so hard and I don't get anything from it, you know? But the other side of it though, is I really want to come back and she's like, man, we got everything done. The schedule was right on. Everything that you wrote down was right where it needed to be. And I do that usually. As you know, I'll give like 3 years ago, Minnesota, I think, Minneapolis, I gave her a 4-page list of all the things, because we had 4 kids in 3 different schools. We had religious education 2 nights a week. We just had so many things going on. Yeah. You know, and I'm like, okay, this is everything. This is the times, this is the room numbers. This is where you're supposed to be. Here are some pictures of the kids' teachers. So that, you know, if you have to go into the school, this is the person you're looking for, kind of thing. The soccer coaches were the same way. I had a picture of each kid with their soccer coach so that she could just hold it up and like, I want this person, you know. But the other part of it, setting her up to succeed, what I did probably that year was the first year, maybe it was before that, but I looked at her and I said, look, there's a ton of stuff on this and I do it every week. I set it up. I started it. I scheduled it. I know when it is. I've got all the reminders and alarms and everything else. And this is my job. Yeah. You're subbing for a week, a couple of 4 or 5 days, 3, 4 days, whatever it is. Yeah. And anything could happen. And if I come back at the end of this time and you have ordered pizza or Chinese food or something every single night, and the kids have missed their bedtimes, and there's no clean clothes left. I mean, the place is just a mess, and you didn't make any of the soccer games or practices or anything else, fine. Yep. Because you're taking care of the lion's share of this stuff for me, so that I can go and 1, relax, 2, be with my tribe and get recharged from that, and 3, learn to do this job better. Yeah. And so if I come back and you didn't get it all done, I'm not going to blink an eye. I may joke about it later, you know, because that's the kind of person I am. Make sure you buy her a bottle of wine or a good beer before you do it. Right. Yeah. And sit with her and say, let's talk about the laundry for a second, and, and just make a joke of it. Sure. But go into it with the understanding that, short of, medical things or something like that, all of this other stuff can miss, even school. You miss a day or 2 of school. We really needed to get there, but we'll be fine. Yeah. You're looking at 1 or 2 or 3 days out of I don't know how many days we spend in school as children into adulthood. You'll be all right.
I know my wife would not miss dropping the kids off at school because then she has no kids at the house. So I'm not worried about
Not
that.
going to
one.
miss drop off at all.
No, not going to miss drop off at all. Not for sure. Now pickup is another thing, but that's
Well, I kind of want to miss pickup every day too. So, but
Mhm.
they always have your phone number. It's like, what?
I know, right? They
How
always
could
know how
you
to track
find
you
me?
down. So,
Mr.
yeah,
Mr. We know these are your children.
sure. You get a DNA test to prove that.
That's right.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, so coming up to the convention, guys are coming in, early. I mean, honestly, there are so many guys who are just excited for this. We've got I'm pretty sure we're over 100 attendees right now, which is pretty
Nice.
exciting.
That is.
And some of our attendees are also speakers, so that kind of plays a factor in those numbers. But I think in all, we're right at around 100 in-person attendees, plus then speakers.
Awesome.
So we've got a few virtual presenters this year, just because of COVID and everything. People trying to keep themselves safe, especially one speaker who's pregnant. So totally makes sense. But yeah,
Thank you for sharing, but definitely take care of that baby.
Yes, exactly. And so, for anybody who hasn't seen this or not, but there's a group of us coming in early. We're going to go do a bourbon tour on Wednesday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And we talked about that a little bit prior. Thursday, when everybody comes in, we're going to have a photo walk, which is also a brewery tour at Sam Adams Tap Room, which is going to be awesome. And then there's another group going to the Dayton Air Force Museum, which honestly, I wish I could be in two places at once.
Right. That's a tough call there.
Where's my time spinner from Hermione Granger? totally pull that one off there. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. And then that night is the kickoff of everything. So, we're going to be at Molly Malone's, which is an awesome Irish pub that's only a couple blocks from the hotel. That night also too, there's a live Facebook event going on where Shannon Carpenter and Jonathan Heisey Grove are going to be on being interviewed for Shannon's book. So I'll put a link in the description for that. So if anybody wants to check that out, I think it's at 8:00 Eastern time on that Thursday night. So that'll be really exciting, kind of a nice little kickoff as well.
Yeah.
I actually, just to kind of go back just a little bit, on Monday of that week, I'm actually going to be on local television talking about the convention. So I got set up with that.
Sweet.
Pretty exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. Make us look good, man.
Yeah. I'm hoping that the shirts are here by then so I can wear one.
Oh, nice. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
So just in case anybody doesn't know, Jonathan Heisey Grove is our president of the organization.
He is better known as JHG.
JHG. Yeah. And the guy is a graphic master, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Pretty good photographer from what I've seen, but definitely the guy that can just put together graphics. And, what do I know about it? I got ham hands. I can't even draw stick figures, but seeing the stuff that he does.
He did this graphic.
Yeah. For Home Dad Chat.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I like it too. I love the coffee mug.
Yeah.
For anybody.
Even though we don't drink coffee on this show ever.
That's right. Put stuff in a mug. It doesn't have to be coffee.
That would be the worst effect ever. Be like, let's drink some coffee at 8:00 at night. Oh my goodness.
See, by 8:00, no, it's probably about 4:00. I'm deciding, is it where I'm at? Is it the rest of my day? Is it alcohol or caffeine? Where I'm at. Mentally, what am I going to do? Am I ready to just throw in the towel? Well, I might have to get something to drink, some rum or whatever, whatever it is. Or, I'm just going to need to keep powering through. I'm going to have to get a cup of coffee. So, but I can go to sleep after a cup of coffee.
Really?
And sleep fine. Yeah.
Nice. I mean, that's something that I can do for an afternoon, power nap. I could definitely drink a cup of coffee, take a nap and wake up and be ready to go.
Well, did you know that drinking a cup of coffee and taking a nap actually has a better effect than just the cup of coffee?
Yes, I did.
It takes time. Okay. So that's why, is that why? I don't know if that's why.
That's one of the reasons. Yeah. Cause I'll do even sometimes in the morning too, after I drop the kids off and I come home and get breakfast and before I get going, if I'm I just need to close my eyes for 10 minutes.
Yeah. And that's just part of the job.
Yeah.
Because you've got to sleep. I mean, like when they're infants, it's you always sleep when the baby's sleeping, period. Unless you're driving, don't do that. But if because that's how you have to figure out your schedule. You have to match their schedules. You're up every 2 or 3 hours at night. Well, when they take a nap during the day, you have to do whatever you can to get a nap.
And take a short nap so that you can continue working. Yeah.
Keep alive. Yeah. That sleep deprivation, man, is the worst.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's kind of how that flies. So then Friday morning, we're going to be in the City View room. So we're going to be in 2 different conference rooms this year. It's a little bit different than past years. We had a bit of a situation take place with conference rooms and how all that happened. So we're going to be in the City View room for Friday, which is awesome because like it's a room with windows that looks out over the Ohio River and over into Cincinnati. There's actually like a patio off to the side that you can walk outside for. So it's just gonna be a really neat little setup that we're gonna have there. But we've got Ben Killoy kicking things off. I'm excited to hear his conversation. He's been a big proponent for just dads in general, and his podcast that he's been doing for military dads has been pretty exciting. And so just to hear him come and talk is going to be great. I heard him in Dad 2 a couple of years, I think it was DC, and I was just blown away by his ability to tell a story. So it'll be really cool. He's doing the who do you see in the mirror basically. So, which I think that a lot of us can can definitely, how do we see ourselves in the mirror on a regular basis? Because sometimes I see myself as a great dad, and sometimes I see myself as a puddle of mud. So
and they're both still true.
Sure. Yeah. But it's how do you maneuver through them? And I'm hoping, that's the thing. I'm hoping that he talks about that.
Yeah.
So, he's a former Marine, so I'm sure he's had to pick him up by the bootstraps and figure it out. So I'm looking forward to hearing it.
You hear that a lot too in the things that he talks about in his writing and stuff like that. And he talks about adapting, and adapt and overcome is a part of, the Marine philosophy, of course. And that adaptation is really a big part of going, especially from a soldier, full time to going to an at-home dad. I mean, I'm sure there are greater things that there would be a greater disparity between the two that you could find, but realistically, I am, what do they call a life taker and a heartbreaker over here. And then now, oh no, I've got to come in and take care of my children, and I've got to provide for them emotionally.
Yeah.
I've got to provide for them mentally.
Yep.
And all of that is such a huge difference. And I've listened to his stuff off and on. There's a lot of podcasts that I try to listen to. So I try to pick up a little bit of everything, but he's really got a lot of, he's got a different view of all of it coming in. And you can see if you listen, like from a while back when he started and then to now, how much he has adapted.
Oh yeah.
And how much he has accepted, which you've told this story, I believe, before.
Yeah.
Accepted. You're an at-home dad now.
Yeah.
And that moment of when you look in the mirror and go, that's a dad.
Yep.
And then that's a full-time stay-at-home dad, and being able to look in the mirror and figure that out. And I don't know if that's where he's going to go with it. That's what was my first thought, is looking at who you are and like, I'm not who I was. And that's okay. Yeah. Now I have to figure out how to adapt myself to take on this role. So I'm kind of excited about his. I hope I get to hear his whole
I have a feeling too, like I'm hoping that he's going to go at it from like what the Dad 2 kind of situation was in DC, which basically talked about like kind of not like reinventing yourself so much, but who are you outside of being a dad? Like, you're a guy. What are your things that you like to do? What is it that makes you tick kind of deal? Because dad's only like one facet of it all. Like there's so many other things that make up who you are, and it shouldn't just revolve around just being a dad. Like, yes, because if you're just on that, like you're missing out on a lot of different things. And that's the one thing, like especially from like a like a social media influencer standpoint, which was kind
Mhm.
of the conversation piece, is the whole idea of like a lot of us have like, blah, 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 dad type of thing, like attached to our names. And it was like, well, could you change that name to be something else that would actually grab a broader spectrum of people than just dads? And so that
Mhm.
was what a lot of us were challenged to do. And I'm kind of hoping he goes into that a little bit as well, as far as like, as a stay-at-home dad, like what other things do you bring to the table besides just, I'm a dad that's home with the kids kind of deal? Because there is so
Yeah.
many other things to do.
Yeah. And there's so much to each person. I mean, every member of the organization, and we've
Yeah.
looked at it. We talked to a lot of the guys since we started the podcast, even that there's so much more. There's so much. I mean, you talk to some of these guys, the guys that I've talked to that, about for interviewing to get on the podcast. And we still got a lot of guys that we're still waiting to put into the schedule and stuff. And it's just like, you did what? That's amazing. And whatever it might. Yeah. I drive a minivan so that I can carry all of my camera equipment, because I film for does it Motor Trend or Car and Driver? I film for Car and Driver. So I've actually had it to where I've had the side door open and I'm hanging out taking shots. I'm like, what? This is amazing, but a part of that too is for one of the things that I first thought of is because right now I'm very frustrated. I'm really just tired, and I'm ready for HomeDadCon so that I can get a break. I just need a break so badly. And that is just part of the job, right? You get to that point, you know what you need.
Yeah.
But the part of it that I was thinking of for what he's talking about, and we're looking at, who we are, the many facets of who we are. I'm still a husband.
Yeah.
And honestly, for me and my wife, I'm still a boyfriend too. I'm still, courting my wife. I hopefully will always have the brains to do that for my situation, because I'm married so far up. If she ever figures it out, I'm in trouble.
Never stop dating your spouse. That's
right.
That's
exactly.
Never stop dating your spouse. Yep.
And it's such a big part beyond, I'm a dad. Yeah, you are. And kudos, keep doing it. Get involved, do all that stuff. Even if you're not full time at home, whatever, get involved and be that dad.
Yeah.
But don't get lost in it. Don't let it overwhelm you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So I'm looking forward to hearing his talk. And then we've got some breakout sessions.
One second before we move forward.
Oh, yeah.
Just one to make sure that I have this in my head. So you said we have two conference rooms that we're in.
We do.
Okay. So, but for the opening presentation, we're all in the same one, and then we use the other one later, is what you meant, right?
So we're in one conference room for one day. It actually splits into three
and then another
rooms,
one is the other.
And then the other one is on Saturday.
Gotcha. All right. I wanted to make sure that we weren't somehow like, well, you guys get to sit in the city view room and we're going to sit over here in I'm looking at a trash can room, and we get it virtual or something like that. Or it was like,
no, nothing like that.
Okay. So we're all going to be in the same room. I just wanted to clarify.
One day we'll be further away from the bar, and then on another day we'll be closer to the bar. Okay. Like, does that make you feel better?
That does. And there will be coffee, and I will be fine. Everything will be good. So anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to clarify that.
You're fine.
The second one was
so
breakouts.
Yes, we got breakouts from let's see what we got here. Building a more gender equality world starts at home with Brian Anderson from Fathering Together. So he's going to be there, which I'm excited to have Fathering Together at the convention this year. They are a mega force in what they've been doing. It's crazy. They've only been around for a few years, but man, they are it's just a nonprofit that's just blown up in so many ways. And they've got, they've got an amazing leadership team that's got a really good plan in place for how they're doing it. So, and actually too, so David Stanley is actually a part of Fathering Together as well. So we've actually got two guys. Yeah. David's a part of their board. And Brian's actually one of the co-founders,
cool.
Along with Christopher Lewis, who's also a co-founder as well. So, yeah.
And if nobody's heard David Stanley's name yet, if maybe this is your first episode or something, because there's no way you didn't hear it up now, but he's one of the presenters too on one of the other breakout sessions. And he's a writer, isn't he? I don't remember if has been published?
He's an author. He's a sonnet writer.
That's it. Sonnets.
He's a former he's an OG stay-at-home dad. I
listened to his sonnets on TikTok, and because I pulled it up just to see what was going on, because I didn't know he was doing sonnets, and my wife and I are big, literature idiots. So I'm just sitting there going, oh, that's cool. And my wife, the one with the education intelligence, go, oh, that was pretty good. Yeah. So, but looking forward to hearing from him, and cool that he's on the board as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So they're going to be there. I'm interested to hear what he's going to say. It's, I mean, gender equality, of course, is a conversation that's been going on for a while. So it's definitely beefed up over the past few years. So I got that mental health session breakout will be at that time as well. So you and Lauren, I'll be in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joel Willis is coming from The Dad to talk about leveling up parenting through gaming. So he's actually going to be discussing like video gaming with your kids. And also along with that too, like, so he wanted to get everybody involved, that whether it be someone who is whether it be somebody who's coming to the convention or somebody who's not getting the ability to come to the convention, he wanted the ability to actually try to bring as many people in together for video gaming. And so he actually set up a virtual gaming event that I'm going to post a link to. But basically, it's going to be Monday. So Monday, October 4th from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern, he's going to host a Fortnite gaming session. And so he'll have some different things set up for that. And then Tuesday night, October 5th, he's going to do a Mario Kart Deluxe the tournament from 9 to 11 for that as well. So I'll post up what's going to happen with that and how that's going to work exactly. Like, in order to participate, you must have a Nintendo Switch and Mario 8 or Mario Online account for that. So, but yeah, I'll get that all posted. But yeah, I got to hang out with him and have lunch with him a few weeks ago, and he was just like, man, like, he's like, would you think it'd be cool to do like a gaming set? I'm like, yeah, totally. Like, I don't have any of those systems, so like I'm not gonna be able to participate, but I would guarantee there are plenty of guys who do. So that'll be a lot of fun for those guys to get involved in.
I'm telling my wife that for the convention, I'm going to have to get a Switch. And what's really funny is I don't really want one. I'm not really good with consoles, and I'm not good with buttons anymore. I'm a mouse and keyboard kind of guy, and I'm slow, and I would just get destroyed in all these games. I just would, but I would still have fun. But have you played Mario Kart?
I haven't played Mario Kart since the Wii came out.
All right. So, it's a true family bonding game, right?
Oh yeah.
You know that?
Yeah, I love Mario Kart.
The entire point of it is to blow people up right before the finish line.
Oh yeah, definitely. Send that turtle shell.
Teach your kids. Look at you, you're winning. You go, boom, look at that, you're behind. I guess dad wins again.
See, when I got married, that was when the Wii came out. And so like we bought it, and my wife and we played games all the time. Like, this is way before kids. So it was just us two in the apartment with our dog. And man, it was so much fun. Or I'd stay up and I would play. I had the Link crossbow game on there, and so I would play that for hours.
Nice.
But yeah, so I definitely love video games. I still have the Wii. I actually got a Super NES that still works. That's from my childhood. It's not the retro version that they came out with, that tiny little thing. Like, it's actual, like, from the 90s Super NES, and I've got I don't have Mario Kart for that. I need to go find that, but I've got all the Mario games for it. So I've got Super Mario, like, and all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. And I think he's going to even have a setup for being able to actually play video games there as well. So I think one of the things there, if you have a Switch, bring it with you, because I think he's wanting to get a bunch of guys together to play Mario Kart with it. So that was the other thing that he's working on. So our keynote speaker for that afternoon is going to be Kimberly Wolf. Kimberly won't be there in person this year. She's going to present virtually on technology and adolescence, what to know and what to say. Last year, she came to DadCon at home and presented on, I think it was something with like talking to your teenage daughter, something along those lines. I can't remember. It
sounds
exactly.
Familiar. Because her name is very familiar too. Yeah,
she was a part of DadCon at home last year. She was really looking forward to being in person this year. That's not going to happen. But I'm excited that she's still going to be able to present, and I'm excited to hear it because technology is something that all of us and our kids are involved in. And so to have a better grasp of what they are seeing versus what we are seeing is super beneficial to your parenting tools.
Yeah. And I love too, that kind of goes hand in hand with Joel Willis's presentation about leveling up through gaming.
Right.
Because especially after COVID, a year, let's say, of being at home and everything being virtual, and our kids, depending on their age, of course, but getting, I guess, the opportunity to learn everything about technology, the amount of laptops or Chromebooks or whatever that went into people's homes, and the amount of technology, we just jump started all of that. And I'm very concerned about it, but I've been online for, I don't know, forever. And so I'm aware of, what is and what is not and how to safeguard them. And we've talked in the past too. And HomeDadCon had a sponsorship, I believe, from Bark, which is an amazing security system for your devices. I love it. But the reality of where we are right now, learning to play video games with your kid, even if you don't like video games, is something you may want to think about. And we've talked about it like with Space Jam 2. And we mentioned it other times about other things. And I am all for sports and outdoor activities. I'm not good at them, and I never did them growing up. But I want to go, let's go kick the ball around. Let's go throw, play catch, whatever it is, because that activity is so much fun. The team building is so much fun, and everything that you do. And the reality that now you can get a lot of those same benefits in front of a screen.
Yeah.
You still need the physical activity, but the screen isn't the TV rotting your mind that it used to be. And if it ever was, I don't know, but both of these going hand in hand with understanding what exactly technology is doing in our lives as dads.
Sure.
I love both of those. I wish I could hit them both. I'm going to be busy during Joel's, but
it's all good. I mean, we're also going to be trying to record a lot of these as well. So if you're if you're a member, so like that's the other thing too. So, we've got those who are coming who are already have their membership fee built into their ticket. And then there's also the ability, which we need to get this posted out, but basically the ability to just purchase a membership to be a member for a year with the organization, and then that will bring you in to be able to also get to see some of this content that we'll have set up. We're not sure exactly how much we're going to be putting out and that kind of thing, but it's definitely worth becoming a member for that, along with the fact that you're helping the organization with just day-to-day operations, honestly. And so there's a spot actually on the website where you can become a member. And that's one of those deals where it's like, I kind of want to go like straight into like NPR, mode.
What's our goal for this podcast tonight?
Yeah, exactly. Like, how many can we get? But yeah, so that's going to be a really good just Friday. And then we'll end the Friday with another breakout session where we've got road tripping with your kids. David McMillan, one of the local guys here in town that I've talked about quite a bit. Good friend of mine. He's going to be there with his camper and his car, talking about just how he functions with road trips and give everybody some good advice on how to make that happen and be successful at it. He's been all over the country with the kids, so that's going to be cool. There's a panel during that time that I'm going to be moderating, and so that's going to be on your sexual health and relationship answers. So Emma Schmidt, or as actually she is now, Dr. Emma Schmidt.
Nice.
Congratulations, Emma, to that. She just actually got her doctor just recently. She will have a few of her colleagues with her, and they are going to be answering questions. Actually, if you are attending or if you hear this and you have a question like about this, like send it in. We won't use your name to get the answer, but definitely if you have a question, send it to us, because I would be happy to make that part of the panel's question and answer session. And that's something that you can also do in the group portion of things as well. So that's going to be a really exciting panel. I'm really happy that she was able to make it. Emma actually had to back out last year from DadCon at home because she caught COVID, and it was before the vaccine. So yeah, it was she had a rough go. So I'm really happy that she's able to be back and she's healthy and things are good there. And then Dr. Robert Frank, who is basically what I would consider the godfather of HomeDadCon. He is going to be here this year, and he's going to be talking about the power of parenting and what we need to know for raising successful children. Hey, who doesn't want a successful kid, right? or feel successful as a parent in raising your children, I guess is another way to put it.
Yeah.
So he'll be here, and I'm excited to get to meet him. He's definitely one of the, he is the reason that we even have this convention. So that's the last panel or set of breakouts. And then for Friday, for the finishing up of things, we are going to have something that we haven't had before because this is the 25th anniversary, and we're going to have a panel of former presidents, actually, spanning over the 25 years. So that's going to be really cool. We have, let's see here, I'm going to pull this up. So Dr. Robert Frank is on this panel. Mike Stilwell is on this panel. He is a former president. Austin Dowd, who a lot of people know, is a former president. Chris Routley is also a former president, will be on the panel. And hopefully him and his family will get through this COVID battle that they're going through right now, and everything will be good for them.
He said he was feeling better.
Good. I'm glad.
But I'm still worried. I'm still worried.
I hear you, man.
No, Mr. President, please get better.
Yeah, get better. Al Watts will be there, and Al was the president from 2011 to 2015. And then our current president, Jonathan Heisey Grove, JHG, will also be in attendance as well, and he will be moderating, I believe, or maybe even on the panel. We're not still working on that one. But yeah, so that'll be the end of Friday, and it'll be an exciting first day. And then we're going to do a group picture on Friday night. We're going to switch it up a little bit because of the two different rooms and where we would like to do the group picture for usually what would be on Saturday. We can't do that on Saturday because there's a wedding reception actually in there. So we're going to take care of it on Friday night.
People getting married when we want to take a picture.
I don't know, which is fine because honestly, like there are some speakers who are not going to be around on Saturday that are presenting on Friday. So it'll be nice to have them still around to be able to take pictures because I believe most of the people that are going to be there on Saturday will be there Friday night. So that way we can get the group of people that we want.
That works out better.
Yeah, it'll be a nice kind of go with things. We won't get into Saturday just yet. We'll leave it for next week because
sure
we're running up against the wall at the moment. But
I want to say real quick about the picture.
Yeah.
Every year, guys, what we do is we get everybody together and take a picture of everybody. I mean, every single person, and you get your picture taken with all of these other dads. You will want to be in that picture.
It's
you
fun.
Do. It really, and you look back on it. I mean, I see pictures from years ago and I'm like, oh, there I am. Oh, there's so-and-so and there's so-and-so. And I start picking everybody out and, what shirts we were wearing and whatever. It's like looking back to your graduating class or something, where you look at, oh, man, that's my high school graduation. And there's Bobby so-and-so. We used to, go mudding back in the fields or whatever. And the guys that you meet and the tribe that you form when you're there, they will all be in that picture. So do your best to get into that Friday night. That's going to be absolutely a memory worth having. And
too, like when we finish up before the picture, there's happy hour. So you'll be able to get stuff at the bar beforehand. And then we're doing a dinner that night afterwards as well there. So
cool.
We're providing a dinner that night. So that'll be fun. So Friday is going to be great. And I think even too, like I saw David Stanley is working on doing a Shabbat.
Yes,
which I'm really excited about. I didn't get to participate in that when they did that in Washington DC, but I'm definitely looking forward to doing it here in Cincinnati. There's a lot of Jewish history here in Cincinnati too, but so it's exciting that we're gonna have that available for our Jewish friends that are gonna be coming, and for those of us who aren't Jewish, we get to learn something new. So I'm all about that.
Yeah.
It's always nice to experience new things like that. but yeah, so that's pretty much day one of programming for the convention, and I'm excited for it. And I think even too, like, there'll be beer shares going on. Like, we're doing some bottle share stuff. There's a hospitality room where we'll have coffee, Sam Adams beer.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have Athletic Brewing beers there as well.
Are they going to come in? Cool.
Yeah, I think Matt is bringing some stuff, so we'll
Matt's
have that as
it.
well.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll definitely have just a lot of like awesome free stuff there with that. The coffee is local. It's amazing. It's from just down the way.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's groups of guys doing things like cigar lounge, which I'm super excited about.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
So cigar lounge and just
Actually,
going down to other places.
Local cigar shops tonight, because I don't have any. I mean, I have enough cigars to make it to HomeDadCon, but I won't have any. I won't have any to share.
Yeah.
So the first thing I did today, I'm like, okay, where's the hotel? All right, 20-minute walk north across this bridge, which is closed. I don't know, but I'm trying to figure it out. But there's like two really nice places. Well, one really nice place and one place that's a little closer, and it'll depend on what I'm looking to get. But
you should be able to jump. You should be able to jump on a tank though, and just go over to Newport and go to the Party Source, and they've got a huge humidor.
Really, the Party Source?
Yeah, it's the largest liquor store in the nation. They've got a huge. They've got a huge walk-in humidor. It's awesome.
Do they have a smoking lounge?
They don't. Not there.
Let's see. I'm gonna have to look up the place I was just looking at, because they do.
Oh well, there you
Actually,
go.
It's really funny because someone asked on their Google, hey, do they have a smoking lounge? And they're like, no, but we have an area with nice, comfy chairs you could lounge in and smoke cigars. And I'm like, I don't know what you guys think a lounge is, but for me, that's what a lounge is. Can I just sit here and smoke a cigar? Yeah.
There
Comfy chairs. If we put a movie on, even that's like, top dollar.
I wish they would do that back in the back part of that. That would be nice, because there's a place called Braxton Labs, which is like a brewery that's back there, which would have been perfect for putting the humidor and the lounge back there. But that would mean they have to kick them out.
I'm looking at Strauss Tobacconist. That's where I'm going to go.
Is that in Covington?
Okay, so you know where the hotel is?
Yep.
And then across the river, there's like a suspension bridge, John A. Roebling suspension bridge.
Yeah, the Roebling. Yep.
Okay. You walk across that and just take a little right, and it's right there beside the Great American Ballpark.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, me either, man. I definitely don't know.
You have to send me the link for that, because I've not heard about that. That's new to me.
You have to find it yourself, man. There's a Ruth Chris Steakhouse right there too. Cigar.
There is a Ruth. Yes, there is Ruth Chris. Yep. Christian Moorland Lager House is right there too.
Oh man, I don't think we have enough time, dude. I think we have to come in on Sunday. It's just one day for steak. Steak and beer.
Yep.
Is beer good with steak?
Always.
Okay. All right. I meant more like beer is always good is one thing, but steak and beer go really well together. Is that
I mean, I've had my fair share of steak and beer, so it's that sweet.
All right.
It's that, you get that saltiness with the beer. Perfect. It's all good. Well, we won't go too far down that rabbit trail, but man. I would say that when this airs, we will be about a week away.
I'm gonna die, man.
And
I'm gonna lose my mind.
I know. So yeah,
mute my mic and scream for a second.
We will be very, very close when this airs. And it's just so crazy. So looking forward to seeing everybody that's coming. If you're not coming, totally, we love you guys. We hope you stay safe. I hope that you honestly take advantage of being a member and getting in, and at least getting to see some of the content that's in there, and some of the things that you will have access to, and just being able to support the organization for the next year. So, but yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.